Shut up and sit down.
Welcome to the Big Blue Offensive Podcast with Mike Trainer, Jay Jules, and John Depot. Hey, what's up, Giants fam? Welcome to the BBO NYG podcast. I am Mike. That is Jules. That is John. Special guest Ben back in the house. Guys, it was a pretty rough Sunday, I gotta say, for the 100th year first game anniversary. I wore my Phil Simms throwback. I was all hyped up for the game, and then disaster happened. Disaster struck from the get-go, pretty much. Listen. I'm going to defend Daniel Jones on this podcast because I have to. I know other people won't. So do you want me to start and defend this guy?
Yeah. Let's hear you defend this now. Go ahead.
You want me to
defend this pile of whatever it is?
All right. So I'm going to share the screen right now for the people watching on YouTube.
So for all those watching the YouTube, if not, I will describe it play by play for you, unless you want to. Go ahead.
So, Jules, this is the first picture I showed you. The second Daniel Jones stepped back, he's on his back foot. He's not even on his back foot yet. You could see the defender ready to fucking knock him in the head.
So you wouldn't step up into the pocket in this situation, is what you're telling me, right?
Jules, I'm glad you said that.
Clearly, the right tackle is forcing him out, right?
Thank you for saying that. All right.
And it looks like there's a big, huge hole here. For those who are watching on YouTube, you can see, right?
Oh,
it looks
Jules,
like you could fit a Mack truck.
I love you.
The guard and the
Jules, I love you. Jules, I love you because the very next screenshot is the very second Jones steps up to where you're thinking, bang, right there. He gets fucking knocked.
But what is he moving like? Like, does he have fucking cement in his shoes or something?
Dude,
there's no way that defender was coming that clean. That Daniel Jones's next reaction was he can't even fucking put a move on him. It's just stand like a statue and try to throw the ball.
No, he actually got the ball off and completed this pass.
Yeah.
This is how bad the day was going. This is only the first half, guys.
And can we do that's opening drive basically for the Giants?
Pretty much like the first, first half, first quarter.
Okay. First quarter. We don't know where we are at this point.
No,
is this after the interception?
No, this is before that. This is
the fumble, rather the turnover. I should say.
Before all that. Before that. I'm just giving you like how much he was getting like rushed and hit right away. I'm not even talking about like the running game, how the running game was just kind of a fucking disaster too, man. Next screenshot. I'm going to go. This is one of the pass. Who's open here? Who is open? You see a guy blocking. I don't know why he's blocking. He's supposed to be trying to get open underneath. A guy, Neighbors, is just like running into the fucking guy. What kind of play call is this? Then you got a guy, a double team in the end zone, and then I think it's our rookie tight end in the middle of the field. There's nobody open here. He has to throw it right now. Maybe, I think that's Bellinger, top of the screen. Maybe he tries to throw him open, and that's probably part of Daniel Jones' problem is not being able to throw somebody open, which I will give you like credit for, but where do you go with that fucking ball?
Well, let me ask you something right here. What's going on with the line?
The line is like
could he maybe make a little bit of a threat to run? So a defender goes, oh shit, maybe I can't double team this guy because Daniel Jones might run and comes off, and then that creates separation for a receiver. I don't know. I can't see what's going on here. I'm only being zone half a play.
You're right, but before that, he had to throw because he was getting guys like right at him, so he had to like get rid of the ball right here. But I'm just showing you like
another guys don't get open. The rest somehow. But the guy, how many sacks did the Giants give up total for this past Sunday?
Like 5.
No, I don't know if it was that much.
It was 6.
It was 6,
something like that.
And then it was like 15, like QB hits or something. But like, let me. All right, so after that, let me show you a video of where. Now this is the next screenshot where like immediately Jones steps back, he's ready to throw, and he got a guy ready to go at his knees. You know what I mean? So this is like I want to give people like a really true story. Like I know everybody's knocking Daniel Jones, they're knocking the Giants. Jules, I know you're gonna say guys had individual good games, but collectively, this team just did not look like they were ready to play, to be honest with you. But I want to show you where Jones has time. This is a video here where he actually has time to throw the ball. I'll press play. Jones step back. Bang. And hits him. So it's like this is the issue I have, man. When he has time, it looks like he can make these kind of plays, but when he doesn't, then it's a problem. But because he can't maybe he can't throw people open, or maybe he's scared to throw people open. I don't know what the deal is.
So that was your opening argument of support for Daniel Jones?
I mean, pretty much.
I mean, bro, like I feel like I got to go against myself here and then come back because I got to be like, look, it was game
please.
one. He was mad rusty. You know, if you want to blame anybody, we could blame Drew Lock, right? Because if Drew Lock doesn't get hurt early in preseason, at least we have a capable backup. Daniel Jones goes down, it's Tommy fucking Cutlets all over again immediately this early in the season. Yes, he's rusty. Should he have played more in the preseason? Absolutely. But maybe they were afraid to, right? So that's about all I could say in ways of Daniel Jones, right? Like I could walk away and say, yo, he's got a layup this week. Fucking Washington. I mean, Jaden Daniels, fucking rookie quarterback, looked pretty damn good against I take that back. Baker Mayfield, rather, fucking lit him up and looked pretty fucking damn good. So now he's going against a rookie quarterback, is what I meant to say. And the defense fucking should be able to fucking contain him, and we should hold in, right? So that's it. There's no more discussion. We're done, right? It's it. It's over.
Can I show you?
Okay. This is
can I show you one more
fucking story? Go ahead.
I just want to listen. I just want to show you guys like one more video.
Oh, here we go. There's the clip. So that's Charles right there, Charles Barkley.
This is that's my dog. That's my dog.
Sorry, let's just listen.
Get this video over there. But this is Brock Purdy in San Fran's game, which I just found hilarious. This was him all day going against a great Jets defense, by the way.
Let me take a sobering moment for the Niners.
He's just playing with himself back there. He's literally has all day to throw the ball, and that's what's really frustrating to me, especially after the way that I seen Joe Alt play in San Diego, where he just locked down one of the best fucking pass rushers.
I wanted Joe Alt.
Me too, man. And it's just like, man, you watch that happen, and you're like, man, like can the Giants just fix this fucking problem we had for so many fucking years? Like, it's an issue, bro. It's a real fucking problem. Listen, Jules, I get it. Daniel Jones did not have a fucking great game. I'll be the first to admit it was horrible. It was a horrible fucking
shit. We're gonna call it rust.
Okay.
It's been 5.5 years of rust.
I mean, yes, I agree.
I mean, come on, dude. And wait. How many? Because I know you tried to send some like little message out earlier between us here before we got on. You were saying something along the lines of what? There was like 4 drop passes or something like that. 5, 4. We'll go with 4.
Yeah, but there was in the first half, but there was 2 to the rookie tight end, which maybe the timing, because it's a lot of timing plays with Daboll's offense, and it just didn't seem like the timing was there.
Okay, well, listen, he threw 42 passes. 42.
Yeah.
Okay.
Means the running game wasn't working.
That's almost double the amount of what Josh Allen threw on Sunday. Okay, so just kind of put some weird things into perspective here, right? And he only completed half of the fucking passes. Dude, he was throwing guys behind them, in front of them, fucking short, over their head. If Malik Neighbors was 10 feet tall, he probably would have had fucking 5 more catches. Bro, it was a joke. You cannot explain that. And it's the same shit over and over and over again. And I'm going to steal something from John because he likes to say it a lot too. What's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result, right? So what the fuck, man? Oh, Daniel Jones doesn't have time. Oh, Daniel Jones doesn't have weapons. Maybe Daniel Jones isn't good. Maybe he doesn't belong as a starting quarterback. He might make a really good backup. He could be like a fucking Gardner Minshew or a fucking Tyrod Taylor or a fucking, I don't even want to insult these guys, but like, you know what? Maybe a glorified, healthy Carson Wentz. Like, that's about it, dude. That's about it. What, you're going to talk shit about Carson Wentz? That motherfucker was up for MVP and had a Super Bowl team until he got hurt. All right? Like, bro, like, I'm not comparing him to fucking shitheads. I'm comparing him to guys that had success in the NFL, that led their teams in the playoffs, that won playoff games. Maybe not Wentz, but fucking definitely Tyrod and fucking and Minshew and all this bullshit. Bro, enough. I can't anymore. And here's the fucking problem. I'm going to sound like I'm going to eat crow because he's going to go against fucking Washington. They suck. Washington sucks. Let me put this out there. If we don't beat Washington or Daniel Jones looks like shit, get him the fuck out. It's over. Okay? It is over. But what'll happen? Somehow we'll end up fucking winning the game. Daniel Jones will throw for like, I don't know, 250 yards and probably have 2 touchdowns and an interception just because that team sucks. Okay? Neighbors will go off. He'll have the best game of his career, young career. It's only 2 games. But he'll fucking have like 5 catches or 6 catches for 112 yards and at least a touchdown. All right. We're going to look great. We're going to come back week 3. Yeah, baby. Yeah, Daniel Jones is fine. I can watch all this week 3.
John, you want to rebuke any of that? I feel
No,
like I'm an ABC
I actually want to
monitor.
continue.
Listen,
I actually want to continue with what I said last week. We've noticed an alarming trend of red flags with this organization, with this regime, with everything that's going on. And I don't know how you could watch that game from Daniel Jones's play to the offensive line to the defense. I mean, it was insane. We ended up the first drive of the season in a 3rd and 19 in the first series. Defense comes out, we get a sack right out of the gate, and I was like, okay, this is what I thought I was going to see out of this defense. I thought I was going to see some pressure. Dexter Lawrence immediately sack, get the ball back. There's that fumble early on, and from there, the team just looked like they barely even wanted to be on the field. That's Brian Dable and Joe Shane. All these players have talent. You're not getting the best out of these players. You're not making them want to fight to fucking play. Immediately, right after their fucking week, the first week of the season, Neighbors is not like, I don't know. I saw something like Neighbors distancing himself from Daniel Jones. The team's already fractured. It's just an alarming amount of things that are just not going right for this fucking organization, and it's a slow motion train crash, and we only saw the first 2 cars hit each other. We have 16 weeks to go, and listen, fucking hopefully the football gods decide to just give us the tip of the dick one more time, and it was week 1, and then week 2 it's just fucking win after win after win after win. Hopefully, but there's way more negative than positive that's going on right now at 1925 Giants Avenue, and it's very disheartening because new regime, you're basically pressing reset, and by this time next week it could really be a fire sale where hot seat, quarterback, are we benching Daniel Jones, should we go do this, should we go do that? I mean, it's a catastrophe with what happened. And then to put the cherry on top, to watch Saquon 3 touchdowns, 130 yards, celebrating, looking like his old self, and you just I saw a meme of your entire team last year on players who didn't score a touchdown, who scored a touchdown that weren't named Saquon Barkley, was 10. And in one game, Saquon gets 30%. One game gets 30% of a team's overall production. Then 40 hours later, you go get from the rooter to the tutor, just demolished. They don't even look like they're playing fucking football. I mean, you just couldn't have had week 1 go any worse than if you had a really serious injury. Other than that, I mean, every single person in that locker room should be fucking walking on eggshells to make sure this team turns around like this, or everyone's out of a job.
The usual optimistic John right there. Holy shit. Ben, what do you got to say about that? About the game?
I'm more with Jules. I definitely think that there's a lot of blame to go around. Daniel Jones, 6 years already here. He's the most culpable, in my opinion. He makes, again, the only credit, Jules, listen up. The only credit I will give Jones is he's 9 months out from his ACL. You know what I mean? Running wasn't the issue, but the dude is back. His toughness is never to be questioned, but he's definitely like his decision making. He's skittish. He's scared. You can't play this position scared. And the guy is broken. Lost. And we will not get 2022 Daniel Jones back. It's a wrap. It's over. His talent was already questionable to begin with. You know what I mean? He just got this far. He got his contract, I think, based on his toughness and he just keeps grinding. He just doesn't let it get to him and just goes out there. But we can't do this anymore with him. Everybody knew it was kind of a lame duck year. It was a do or die year for him because we're done after the season with him. Shane and Dable have been public about it, with the show. The show didn't help where they're dogging Daniel Jones. They're trying to get a quarterback. I think by not tanking last year, I think Cutlets, his little win streak screwed us up because I wish we were picking top 3 because if we were in this situation and we go beat Washington by like week 4, week 5, we would have had Drake May. It would have been maybe a lost season, but a future. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
He's not even playing, Ben, though.
What?
He couldn't even beat out Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah, I mean, he's not ready. I mean, that's the clear thing.
Yeah, but you know what? You guys are. I think Malik Neighbors' pick. I said it back then. I said it again. It's a waste. It's like Saquon.
And then look at all the fucking, like, if you really want to just harp on that situation there with the draft picks and then Tommy Cutlets and tanking and all that kind of shit. Look,
why not?
What did Caleb Williams do? That guy didn't even throw for 100 yards. All the
93.
fucking hype. He's gonna revolutionize the position. He's this fucking great quarterback. He's loaded with weapons. So DJ Moore, Ronald Dunze. He threw for 90 yards.
So 90. Jules, you're the Bears. You stick with Justin Fields?
No, I'm not saying. No. Listen, the Bears are the number 1 pick.
You have to go quarterback. You don't win.
Of course. But what I'm trying to say is, all I'm saying is that, like, the Giants could have tanked. We could have had Drake May. Drake May would have been forced to start week 1, and we could have had the same results or similar results. We don't know. We don't know. The guy's not even on the field. JJ McCarthy didn't even make it out of preseason with a blown knee. You have what else? Bo Nix. Bo Nix looked like shit. They were calling him check down Nix. You know what I'm trying to say? So, like, what else is there, really?
It would have been
Michael Penix. Michael Penix ain't seen the field, and Kirk Cousins looked like dog shit. So, like,
just like I say, just like the offensive lineman, keep drafting quarterback till you get it right. I'm done with being in quarterback hell. We're not going to win without a quarterback. We need a quarterback. All right, let me get to the other guys. I think Dable's play calling is horrific. Absolutely horrific. He's trying to play call this vanilla offense curtailed to Jones because he knows Jones is limited with what he can do, and there's no Saquon.
40+ passing plays. I understand that we feel like it was vanilla. Well, 40 fucking pass plays.
Yeah, but what did you see that was creative? What did you see?
There was a lot of run plays. There was a lot of
RPOs. A lot of RPOs, right, Ben?
A lot of RPO. Okay.
I know he threw 42 times because we were down the whole game. Second half, he probably threw the most. But he was running the ball nonstop. It was like, you idiot. Like, it's 3rd and long, and you're fucking running. And you're running.
Goal line.
Maybe Dable was rusty with his play call.
QB runs. I'll stop with the rust. Bro, this is why you need to fucking go out. This is why baseball plays a 26-game fucking preseason, because you got to knock the rust off. This bullshit of playing 6 minutes of football and then saying, oh, they practice good and joint practices. Bro, go get on the fucking field.
So glad you said that.
You knock the rust off, but it doesn't fucking count.
In the Jets, on the Jets preseason game, Daniel Jones should have had reps with Neighbors, with the line.
Whole team, bro. Enough of this bullshit. There's 17 fucking games. Stop this nonsense that you got to fucking sit there and watch the guys who are going to be flipping burgers the next week play football while you're sitting there in fucking a Giants hoodie. Bro, I could buy a Giants hoodie and stand there. Go out in the fucking fields. You get hurt. That's what God wanted. Sorry. What are we saving you for? To lose?
Get
on the fucking field and play football.
Great point. How many guys got hurt in practice that were out for the season? JJ McCarthy got hurt in practice.
Every year's
you know what I'm trying to say? So you get hurt at any time. And John, you nailed it with that shit, dude. Yo, Phil Simms and Carl Banks were hosting the fucking, announcing the first preseason game this summer. And Phil was like, we used to play into the 3rd game. He goes, and sometimes that 3rd game would get so serious that the starters would be out there in the fucking 4th quarter. Look at the 3rd game of the preseason. You still got your starters, Phil Simms, Carl Banks, these fucking legends out there playing. These motherfuckers never really got hurt. I mean, Simms had some injuries, I get it. But, like, they hardly ever got hurt like this back in the day. And these guys used to play a full fucking preseason. Like, it makes no sense, man. It's and that is 100% part of the problem. If you look throughout the entire NFL, everybody, with the exception of maybe like 3 games, every fucking quarterback had an off day. They weren't up to what their par numbers were. They weren't throwing the ball that much. Listen, we didn't even fucking score a touchdown with one or two teams, and we had more pass attempts than fucking half the NFL.
Bro, listen. I don't even give a shit what the stats from our game or any other game look like. When you watch what they did for 60 minutes on the football field, it almost doesn't approximate the game of football. I said this in the group chat. If you just were an alien that landed and all you can see is the blue jerseys playing and see
ugly jerseys.
What?
Ugly blue and red. And
yeah, I don't even know what the fuck that
jerseys.
is.
They look like aliens.
Yeah. If you would just watch what the plays they were running, what was actually happening in each one of the plays, you almost couldn't grasp the concept that the quarterback lines up behind 5 guys that block for him. He throws the ball down the field, receiver makes an attempt to catch the ball, and then continue on and try to get the ball in the end zone. It was almost like that wasn't even the goal of what they were trying to do. The camera does not move left to right when Giants are on offense. It just is a fixed frame. All the action takes place within that frame, and that's it. It's fucking infuriating.
You guys nailed it. Like the quarterbacks, like I know, John, you don't like to hear it, but all these quarterbacks had like bad weeks. Like Burrow had a fucking bad game. Kirk Cousins had a fucking horrible game. These guys, can you guys name the one quarterback that threw over 300 yards this week? Can you name that guy? No. You know who it was?
Gino.
No, it was fucking Tua from the Dolphins. And you want to know why?
Oh.
Because fucking Tyreek Hill had 130 yards, and most of them was yards after the arrest. So, like, he had plenty of fucking time. You know what I mean? And he's the only guy.
I like that.
Daniel Jones was like right in the middle of the pack, to be honest with you, probably because he threw a bunch of 42 times. But it just goes to show you that offenses always start really slow in the beginning of every NFL season. Because, John, you're right. They don't play.
For the reason John said, absolutely.
So then if I'm dumb enough as a human being to be smart enough as a football fan to say, oh, if 31 teams start off flat-footed for a goddamn month, wouldn't it be part of maybe the strategy to be the team who's in week 5, in week 1?
It's part of the NFL because
have everyone laugh at you in week in the preseason week 1, 2, and 3. Have everybody fucking laugh. ESPN, Stephen A. Smith, whoever the fuck. And then you go out there and you bludgeon your first 3 teams that you're playing. Even if you're not better on paper, it's because you're already a well-oiled machine. How does that not spell great, anything great for the rest of the season? Momentum, pride, accomplishment, confidence. Instead of just
they don't practice.
Bro, you got dominated. You were emasculated on your own team. You had the whole Giants 100-year celebration. I mean, could you imagine how embarrassing it must have been for these players at halftime, the Eli Mannings and the fucking Strahans and LTs and whoever else was or not a Strahan, but LT and Carl getting honored while there's
LT was embarrassed.
7.5 inches of another man's dick in your ass during this game, and he's just fucking moaning and groaning, and you're fucking sitting there. I can't believe I'm down 3 touchdowns and half the season's over. Get the fuck out of here.
LT,
go fucking play football in August, and that way, when you get to fucking September, you can actually play a goddamn game.
John, LT got embarrassed, and he got caught with hookers. That's crazy.
Listen, all I know is that this game
fucking annoying.
Once they got Dexter Lawrence, see, and I'm gonna kind of tie this all together where I'm starting to think that Dable doesn't make the right adjustments in the game, right? You'll see a lot of coaches, right? A lot like as much as we make fun of the guy fucking in Miami, they were losing at halftime, and he came back in the second half. They made the right adjustments, and Miami came back, right? Like you see that. Look, Buffalo's another one. Buffalo was losing at home to Arizona. McDermott's a good enough coach where he made the right adjustments at halftime, came back, and they came back firing, right? So, for example, you take what happened with the fucking with this game, right? And once that turnover, that fumble happened, and we had great starting field position, I said we have to go in for 6. Once we went back to the usual bullshit and settled for a field goal, I was like, here we fucking go, right?
Here we go.
You had that Dexter Lawrence sack, and what did Minnesota do? They said, all right, fuck it. Dexter Lawrence is clearly the best guy on that defense. Let's double team him. And let's put our right tackle and our left tackle on these two fucking pass rushers that are supposed to be these fucking massive fucking, they're going to wreak havoc and shit all through the fucking day. And they put fucking the left tackle straight up one-on-one on Thibs and the right tackle straight up one-on-one on Burns. And he fucking didn't do shit. Yo, that left tackle made Thibs look like he was a high school player. Bro, he was smashing him into the ground. He was pushing him all the way past the center. Bro, it was disgusting. He abused Thibodeau. It was sad. He looked like dog shit.
I wanted Christian Darrisaw, so we got Kadarius Toney.
You know, listen.
Everything. We man on man and man to man, 11 on 11, every one of those position battles, with the exception of one or two here and there, they got dominated. And you know what, bro? I can't even sit here and say that position for position, the better player was always in the Vikings. I don't even know if that's even true. But if you have a trend that's sustaining to 22 to 25 different people on the team that are playing, that's the coach.
Yeah. And look, the defense didn't look horrible because, in my opinion, that pass.
Sam Darnold ripped them up.
Right. The defense didn't look good.
He was very accurate earlier.
It didn't look bad.
Hear me out on this real quick, because even though it was like a 7-3 score at the time, Minnesota gets the ball. They saw the
first quarter,
and they called that bullshit pass interference on Adoree Jackson.
Right.
Well, I'm sorry. That was absolute bullshit because Adoree turned for the ball, and you could see the receiver from Minnesota.
He turned around.
He called Adoree. How the fuck does Adoree get called on that? Because that literally changed the tone for the first half on defense. Because they go in for a touchdown, they looked a little lost. But if you look at it, they come back. He only really gave up 7 points in the second half. So talking about fucking, like making adjustments and everything, they did. And don't forget, Daniel Jones threw a touchdown pass to Minnesota in the second half. That's how they scored the other touchdown.
Bro, it was a laugher. They were chanting "Skull" with 13 minutes left in the fucking third quarter. The crowd. The game was over. That's why they didn't score stuff. They didn't.
That's just because of how horrendous the offense looked. They knew that they couldn't score on.
But I'm saying on both sides of the ball, they were dominated. So that's why Daniel Jones had 42 passing. He just kept passing. It didn't amount to fucking obviously anything. Whenever they would get close to the end zone, the Vikings would be like, all right, we'll play this fucking series. And then boom, the drive shut down.
I cannot believe the fucking tweets and everything I was seeing that Daniel Jones's last touchdown pass at home was against the Colts in 2023 or 2022, whoever the fuck it was. And then last year, the last touchdown pass this man threw was against Arizona. Are you fucking serious?
He didn't play, though.
Yeah, I mean, that's a stupid stat, because if the guy wasn't on the field,
but still, come on, dude.
Insane.
Like,
it's like saying, John, you didn't score a fucking touchdown.
But like, just think about that for a minute. He played a couple games after that. He played another game this year. He threw 42 times. You don't throw one touchdown pass? Come on, bro. Tyrod Taylor came in the game on Monday night in relief for fucking Aaron Jones because that game was over. He didn't manage to throw a touchdown pass.
It's if a fucking penalty in Adoree Jackson on the first drive of the game deflated the team to the point where they just felt like the victims the rest of the time, that's on Brian Daboll.
Well, no, listen, and look, to be fair, Daboll did step up and he did take the blame, right? And everybody just thought, oh, well, you're covering, you're doing this, you're doing that. No.
You get $10 billion to take the blame, bro.
He deserves that blame. So at least he did that. And again, like I said, here's the thing that's really bothering me about this, because everything that we're pointing out, every single one of us is money dead on, right? And here's the thing. We have a fucking get right game this coming Sunday at home. This is a get right game. And they'd be like, oh, you see, it was just week 1. That's why, like, honestly, I don't even want to watch Sunday because it's not even going to be fun. If we win, I'm going to be like, good, we were supposed to. If we lose, you thought I went crazy tonight.
If we lose, then, I mean, the season's on, like, literally, it's on ice. It's over.
Yeah,
it's the entirety of the fucking rooting interest in the season completely goes away for every single person that wants to wear blue on Sunday. And there's probably a ton of people rooting for exactly just that because they're just so sick and tired of the bullshit. I don't know, man. It fucking sucks, dude. I really liked Brian Daboll when he came here. I was really optimistic for Joe Shane. You guys know I got a tattoo of Daniel Jones on my fucking ass cheek, and
It's a bad spot for it.
You want to see it, Vinny?
He is there, so it's gotta fit it.
I'm just kidding.
Black hole son.
But even me, like I'm just
Is it
fucking
Daniel
tired of
Jones's
it.
face and then
Like,
around their asshole?
I
and
don't
he's
even
just
care
like,
like if you lose.
Mouth
Like,
open.
I'm not that I don't care you lose. I don't mean to say that in that way. I just goddamn look competitive. They literally look like they just don't even know what the fuck they're doing out there, dude.
That's what the
It's
problem
just
is.
so far away from being a team that can beat a better team in the league. I know it's one game. Maybe we're just venting, partially, but I mean, they didn't lose 31-28 and a back and forth bad ref call at the end of the game. Like, one team wins, one team loses. I mean, they were just handled, like emasculating, took their balls, put it on the fucking 50-yard line, took a shit on that, just embarrassed. I don't know how every single player on this team is not tired of
Daniel
this.
Jones.
Like, how are you not tired of this?
How did he throw that pick six? Bro, like he just turned and he was like, yeah, you take it. And like the fucking defender from Minnesota was just like, oh shit. What the fuck is he
laughing,
doing?
dude? He was laughing the way if I did that to you in Madden,
I would have laughed my ass off too.
If I did that to you in Madden, I would be laughing my ass off. And then he zoomed in on
I've
him
been like telling you, hit the reset button, bitch. You know you fucking want to quit.
And he's fucking just
listen. There's a rumor going around that some of the defensive players from Minnesota started feeling bad for Daniel Jones in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I mean that's
dude. I mean that's like they talk shit and they're talking that after. It's just like, man, like like I don't even know what this. Like to me, I just don't see what could turn this team around. You know what I mean? You got Dibs yelling at the fucking at the reporters, and I think it was one of the fucking guys that's always there too. You know,
Jordan Renan. He said we'll do a slap boxing. It's like, bro, that's corny.
That's Carl Banks called him out, which I have to appreciate. He did. He said, "Look, man, Carl Banks called out Thibs for his reaction in the locker room after the game." And he said, look, man, if you're going to be that guy and you're going to take the next step, you have a bad game. Listen, maybe you weren't in position where you could have made tackles. Maybe the offense was designing plays to go away from you and all these different things. He goes, but that still doesn't give you an excuse to act like that. He's like, you've got to be way more mature. You have to handle the pressure. Say, look, I got to do things to help my team win. There's none of that. There's none of that. No one is accountable. It's ridiculous.
What did Dable say about the situation?
Huh?
I mean, I like Carl Banks, but frankly, I don't care what he has to say about it. Oh. What did his coach say about this?
That he blamed himself. That was really, I mean, like to summarize everything, he just put the whole fucking thing on him. All right, and that's fine. We know, look, no one's going to question that Dable's not a man. He's not going to step up. He's not a tough guy or any of that kind of shit. We know that. But he doesn't. Like I said, his in-game adjustments are horrendous. He doesn't adjust. He makes no adjustments. He stays with a game plan, and they keep going with that game plan. And that's it. Like, I never see this guy adjust and, like, make a play where all of a sudden this team comes out different in the second half. Or all of a sudden we're executing differently. We never see it. We never see it.
Yeah. I don't know. I hope that
Ben, you got anything?
I hope that in 7 days where we can listen back to this and all laugh and say, "Oh wow!"
I hope so.
It really turned around in 1 week.
I don't think Joe Shane gets a free pass here at all. He's been here for 3 drafts, 3 free agencies, and he has yet to make a draft pick that is a truly impactful player. I don't care what anybody says in this chat. I don't think Deonte Banks is first round material. I don't think Thibodeau is a pick 5 material. Evan Neal is possibly our swing tackle. The guy's not even starting anymore in a position that we're in dire need of. Those are just our top picks. Then you go down the list. I don't think Wandale's worthy of a second rounder. And I like Wandale. Like, he didn't quit. The only 2 guys that didn't quit in this game, because I saw a lot of quit on this team, by the second half, which we didn't see that really last year with Dable. Last year we didn't see that. But this team had a lot of quit in them.
Horrifically red signs.
Wandale and Dexter. Like Jules said before, once Dexter was neutralized with the double team, it was time for the other 2 to step up. Thibodeau needs to watch himself because he will not get re-signed. I hope they don't re-sign him because they brought in Brian Burns, who they traded for and then paid. What does that tell you about Thibodeau? You should be like looking at yourself like, don't say like, oh, Aziz is always hurt. That's why they brought in Burns. No, they brought in Burns because you're not the man. Like, you got 11 and a half sacks against weak offenses last year. You were cold and quiet against Philadelphia in those divisional games, not named Washington. You know what I mean? So, like, I think the defense showed something. Defense needs some help. Our secondary is a problem. I don't know why Jefferson and Deontay are going one-on-one in the red zone there. Somebody needs to be inside to help them. But Deontay's our first rounder. Like, what are you doing? You know, like give a little bit more. I know you're smaller. I know it's Jefferson, but I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, you were a first rounder. Start like Shane, I think, just really has not, like you said, John. I'm rooting for Shane and Dable, but it's making it really hard.
Ben, can I ask you something?
Go ahead.
What do you trust the new defensive coordinator, or do you think it was a mistake that they managed with Wink?
Never blitzes at all. I felt like they played up for Wink. As much as Wink was a problem with his ego and what he had going on, I feel like
It looked a lot better, right?
Yeah, like even
they played harder for him.
Yo, Brian Flores, he rushed 4 and he dropped everybody back. He was like, let him throw all day. We're good on this offensive line. Then like Kellen Moore, the coach, he had Darnold. He told Darnold, get the ball to Jefferson. It wasn't even really Jefferson. It was Addison. Thank God Addison rolled his ankle because he was killing us in the seam routes. Like, oh my God. Like, he gave him a very simplified game plan that Darnold executed. Then they opened up the running lanes in the second half, and Aaron Jones, who's 30 years old, started running roughshod all over us. Like, these were simple game plan. They were well prepared. Your point, John.
Outcoached, outplayed.
Season is well taken, but you know what? They didn't practice either, and they were prepared, and we were not. This falls on Dable's shoulders. This falls on Shane's shoulders for not putting a better product. I don't think there's talent on this team. I think we are talentless, and whatever talent we do have is from a previous administration or free agency or like where's
in Philadelphia right now?
Where's that?
I think the coaching sucks, and Wink Martindale covered up a lot of that last year.
I agree.
Right, so
you know what? I think that might be exactly the story of this regime.
Hold on, real quick. I want to point out a couple of things really fast, right? We're talking about the draft class, right? Obviously, there's still guys that are developing, but Tyler Newman looked fantastic. Malik Neighbors looks like the real deal. You have Drew Phillips, who was fucking playing really fucking well. All right. I still like Banks. I think he's a good corner. I think he's fine. I'm not overly concerned about him. And you brought in Burns. So you can't blame everything. Not everything's going to hit. There's no way you can look at anybody that hits on every fucking part, right? So that's just sort of what I have to say.
Nothing's felt impactful, Jules.
Huh?
You can make the case and go through the Excel spreadsheet of draft picks and say,
wait a minute, but that's what you used to do all the time for Gettleman. That's what you and Mike would sit here and do all the fucking time, every season for Gettleman. Oh, look at Andrew Thomas. Oh, look at this guy. Oh, look, he put in that guy. Oh, we're gonna be great.
There was impactful picks, though.
Now you're gonna
there was players who were brought in that made a difference.
I'm just saying, like, let's be real here. So we got to look at some of the positives before we start destroying his whole entire draft. All right, some of the guys he brought back in and replaced with other players have been stepping up and playing pretty decent. It's now when we go to that defensive coordinator, I'm not fucking giving this guy an F and saying he's done after week 1. It's week 1. If you guys recall, you remember on our Super Bowl run when we brought in Steve Spagnuolo, he looked like shit the first 2 weeks of the season. Brett Favre of Green Bay came in and they fucking smoked us, bro. It looked like dog shit. And by week 3, 4, the defense started catching on. And by the end of the second half of the season, forget it. That defense was unfucking matchable. So you got to give this guy a little bit of a break. It's a new scheme. Everybody's learning a new system. They're learning to play with new players. They're learning to play with each other, different checkoffs. You have a rookie basically running the secondary, Tyler Newman. There's a lot of things that just need to kind of come together.
Yes.
First. So he gets a pass, in my opinion.
I agree with that.
That guy gets a pass.
What's the big difference between that team and this team? That team.
Pass rush, yeah.
A pass
no. I just mean from like the parts of the machine. They had a no nonsense, fucking
Head coach.
great, proven head coach and leadership of men in the locker room with Strahan and guys like that.
Yeah, but let's be
They don't
fair.
have any of that
Strahan might have
now.
been very
That-
vocal, but
It
his
shows. It
leadership
shows that.
role didn't really take off until that season. That whole we're gonna stomp them out. That shit came that year. That didn't come till week 8. Yeah, what do you mean?
That's
Wrong.
what I'm talking about.
That's when fucking
Straight-
Cosman
straight
said we're all
leader.
in. That's when that whole shit was developed.
That was there.
Huh?
I'm saying it in Strahan were leaders of that defense. And that
Yes,
was
but like he was very vocal. He was vocal. But his true leadership showed in that season, is what I'm trying to say. Where
That's
he
because it
truly
was
stepped up
true.
and became that
Listen,
leader.
it was
you had
That's
a-
what I'm trying to say. And
you had
look,
a
I'm not
Hall
saying
of
that anybody
Fame
can't
man-
do that this year.
You had a Hall of Fame player that was a leader in there. You had actual, I want to play every snap of every game, fucking football players in there. You had just a different culture of 5 minutes. If you're not five, like that whole like bullshit that you were talking about Coughlin. You remember Coughlin didn't start his career with us. He took a fucking expansion team to the AFC Championship fucking game. He made his bones before he got here.
Well, let's not
We
forget.
got him
Listen, he
in
was
the second
also he
phase.
was also a wide receivers coach in '90 and won a Super Bowl with us. Yeah, he
I'm
was
not
he
going
was
to
part of that
lend
coaching staff.
any credence.
So he
to,
was a giant. All right, he was a giant.
I understand. The point of the matter is, as a head coach, as the leader of the team, he was no nonsense and had proven success with a bunch of literal blank name jerseys going to the fucking. So he came to us, had players like Strahan in there, had leadership in the fucking locker room, and things didn't go right, things didn't go wrong. But you didn't see this bullshit of I want to slap the reporter on fucking stage on Dana White slap boxing. Guys worried about unretiring numbers. You didn't see quit on the team in week 1 like you're talking about, Vin. You just
week 2 you did. On that season, that one I'm talking about with Spagnuolo. That team, I remember, bro. I was sending out fucking messages, text messages to everyone. We were ready to give up on the season.
there was no texting.
We were ready to give up on the season, man. You guys just don't remember that.
That defense got hurt that year. They got healthy right when the run happened. They were hurt that year. You know what I mean?
Listen, you know what? And correct me if I'm wrong here, guys. I'm pretty sure I said, and I want to even go back even maybe to his rookie season, where I kept calling Thibs Robin. Right? Remember I said you got Batman, you got Robin? He's fucking Robin, dude. And he might not even be fucking Robin. You might have to even go down to like fucking like the third straight
Nightwing right now.
Superhero of that crew.
Dude, did he get
fucking Butler?
Did he get benched during that game? Because it really did look like he was just lost.
Yeah.
What I don't understand. Like, if you watch every play with him, it seems like he was not even like rushing hard. It seems like he was just jogging.
You know what this defense coordinator reminds me of? He reminds me more of Pat Graham. Like we're kind of going back to that. There was times where I saw Burns
we should be so
drop
lucky.
it back in coverage. Burns dropped back in coverage a couple of times. Bro, it was like 3rd and long or 2nd down and long and 3rd and down. He's dropping in coverage. You didn't sign this fucking guy and pay him to fucking have him fucking drop back in coverage. Right? That's what Dable should step the fuck up and stop worrying about calling plays and be like, yo, look, what are you doing? Why is my supposed best pass rusher fucking dropping back in coverage? Look, you could do that once in a while trying to disguise something, but clearly they were giving fucking Darnold a fucking training wheel type offense, and he was just doing what he was supposed to do. So ain't no reason to disguise and do shit. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, this motherfucker should go after the quarterback fucking 80, 90% of the time. That's it. And he didn't even do that.
All right. So let me ask you guys a question. Ben, I'll start with you. What do you think the answer is?
Moving forward for the season or
for this season only, not going like to the future? I know you're going to say we need a quarterback and all that. I'm saying for this season only.
I understand the question. I would, you know what? Daniel Jones, we got to roll him out there. You know, I still think of the 3 quarterbacks. I'm wearing the Cutlet shirt. Like, I think he gives us the best chance to win. As bad as he's played, I still think he's got, you know, he needs reps. He does. I know he's been around for 6 years, but he hasn't. He's always hurt. He's always injured. He's scared. I want Daniel. We're paying him. Roll his ass out there. I want Daniel Jones out there. I want this offensive line to gel. They need more reps. I hope Dable's hard on them. Neighbors, they're gonna start turning Neighbors. The media is gonna get into Neighbors' head, so he's got to be young. I'm hoping he's young, but I'm hoping like they'll coach him the right way to shut up.
Right.
the defense has to show up. I actually personally think Thibodeau and Burns are going to eat this Sunday. I think the
They
two of them
should.
have sacks. I think Dexter will take on the brunt of the double team, and those two should run free nilly because I don't think the Washington line is very good.
Ah,
Jaden Daniels will escape because the guy ran 16 times in the last game, but and he's elusive. But you know what I mean? Like I think they should come home with some. The pass rush has got to be there because the back end is very underdeveloped. We don't know how to pick DBs for the life of us. You know, we need turnovers. Like our defense does. We did well kind of last year because we got turnovers. That's what Wink did. He blitzed. We got turnovers. That's how we made our ends meet. And
we did get 2 turnovers this week.
Yeah, we were pretty good in the red zone, which I think we could tighten up again. I think the defense will come along. I don't like our defensive coordinator. I just, he just rubbed me the wrong way watching Hard Knocks. I don't think he's really smart. I don't think he brings anything really to the table. He's supposed to stop the run. Now you got Brian Robinson coming in. Stop him. Don't let him score. You know what I mean? Like we got 3 guys up front. Bobby O right behind them. I love Bobby O'Creaky. He's such a under the radar player for us, and he could be a leader. Why can't he be the leader on the defense? Like I feel like we need an intro role. We need a guy to just talk to these guys,
take accountability.
Like this is what we're doing. This is what we're doing it for.
I like that.
And then
listen, Vinny just stole what I was going to say.
Yeah,
if I had to answer that question, what I think with this team needs, what's missing is that vocal leader. We don't have it. We don't have it. We haven't had it for years. We almost had it with Saquon. If you go back, right, a couple of seasons before he got hurt, he was, remember going to the sideline. There was that fucking play that they showed a million times where he's telling the offensive lineman block like this, do that, and then he breaks an 80-yard touchdown, right? Like we had it. It was getting there, and then poof, went away. And defensively, there's no one. There is no one. There is no one that wants to step up and say, I should be wearing the C on my chest, and I'm going to fucking be the guy that's going to be the vocal point. And when I fucking have a bad game, when my unit has a bad game, I'll take the fucking blame for it. No one's doing it.
I thought it was going to be Brian Burns.
I
thought it was going to be Brian Burns, if I was honest with you guys. John, what do you think is going to take this team to win games this year? What do you think needs to change? I mean, I found it surprising that, all preseason they had guys playing certain positions, and all of a sudden Cordell Flott's playing the slot.
Ugh.
You feel, it's very strange that they just
Isaiah Simmons didn't even get in the game.
Simmons didn't even play. It's very strange,
bro. Like
very strange, man. And I thought Simmons is just the most athletic guy on defense. You could probably play him anywhere. I don't know where he fits. Like, just find a position for him. John, what do you think?
To answer the question in a word, prayer. I mean, honestly,
I know. I get
it. We just have to hope and pray that what we're seeing is not what we're seeing. To Vinny's point about fucking Daniel Jones, like they got to give him the Joe Biden treatment, essentially. Like, we have to play Daniel Jones. There's not even an option. You gave him $160 million. This regime gave him $160 million. You need to ride that horse and that car until the fucking wheels fall off. And there's undoubtedly no way that he could be the New York Giants quarterback anymore. You can't have any gray area about it at all. And they need to try their fucking best. I don't know how, if we'd be 3 years in with a top pick, you can justify keeping this regime together and for 2 more years, because it wouldn't make any sense to let them draft the quarterback in 2025 and then after 2025, if they don't have a good season, fire them and then put a new regime in and stick them with the other guy's quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's a good point.
Like,
that's a very solid point.
You need like, I mean, it's a stupid thing to say, all gas, no brakes, like the Jets would say, the Jets fucking quarterback said, but really every single person on this roster is playing for their football legacy. Coach fucking Joe Shane. What is Joe Shane? Was going to go to college? Dable's going to go to college after this? Like, all of them. Like,
they're going to have to.
They're going to have to. Like, there's so many
what's
red
Dable going to
flags.
do? Dable put his fucking mouth on the line, right? Not even his job, but his mouth. because literally he says, I'm going to call the plays. I'm going to do this. Like, I'm going to save this offense. Who the fuck's hiring him as an OC?
Yeah.
Ain't nobody in the NFL going to do it.
Bro, those
You know what I mean?
cigars that he was smoking in the fucking playoffs when we were in the playoffs, that's just going to grow. That's just going to look real corny looking back on that if this doesn't turn around.
It is corny, John. Why do we have head coaches like when they have success, they change their image? Like Fat
That's New
McAdoo
York,
was
bro.
awesome. He was
That's
dirty.
New
He
York
had
for you,
hair.
man.
Then all of a sudden he had an oversized suit. Then he gets fucking like gets a haircut. Dable's like he's a fat guy smoking cigars.
Yo.
He's like Tony Soprano.
Dude
He got to
loses
lose
like
weight.
70 pounds and
Yeah,
shit.
like,
Like
what is
this is
this?
fucking mafios.
He's got to go on that diet shit. Like what the fuck with the cards and shit. Like come on, man. Like we need something. I got another question for you guys.
But
Like
real quick, just last thing with Vin. You got to keep in mind too. One of the main reasons why we brought him to DC that we did. He was top 10. He had a top 10 defense in red zone defense.
I know.
They didn't let nobody score really any touchdowns. So I mean, if you look at it from this perspective, they scored twice. They only really scored twice on us. You know what I'm trying to say? Like other shit was put in play by penalties and interceptions and all that shit.
Ooh,
and it's only week one of a new system.
good point.
Jules
That's
let it
all I'm
half a
saying.
game
So
though.
let's stay patient on him at least.
Jules,
Like he's got to find a bright spot somewhere.
where was he ranked with pass defense?
It was the middle of the pack, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh,
It wasn't great.
The
But
box.
it
Right.
it is the
Yeah.
thing is that he doesn't blitz a lot, which is something I don't like because I was always a fan of Wink because Wink
Hell,
was like that fucking
bring
no
that
holds bar. I'm fucking sending 8 guys. I don't give.
But in
a
a
shit.
passing
You know what I mean?
league,
and I do miss that.
in a passing league, you gotta adjust, right?
And I look, and
You
not
got
that
a
I'm
34
for him
game sample
just yet,
size in Wink,
but not
and
that
you
I'm making
only
an
have
excuse for him just yet, because I'm pretty sure I could put a fucking a clip of any one of us in this podcast tonight that said, "Yo, Burns, fucking Dibs in his third year, Dex in the middle. Who's stopping that shit, bro? We're gonna have a nasty pass rush." And then
I don't
you
remember
mix it
saying
on Kalari, and fuck, here we go. It's gonna be like fucking the Strahan days all over again. So you know
NASCAR.
what? The defensive coordinator was thinking that shit too. And then when he saw these dudes getting fucking bitched up and manned up, he's like, all right, fuck it. I got to come up with something different because clearly these guys can't get past the fucking left tackle, right tackle in Minnesota.
Crazy.
How would
But I
they
mean-
not know that? Like,
Wait.
how does a coach not know that when it comes time for the game that they're just going to be dominated?
You don't know until you get out
How do
there.
you not know? You had joint practices. You didn't
Yeah, but they
just
look
go up
good
against the
in
same
practice.
guy
It's
every day in a
practice.
padded practice.
It's
Like,
practice.
That's how
Guys
you make
keep throwing
adjustments.
Heads up. There's no, you're not like most of the time in practice, these guys are just going straight ahead 100 miles an hour. They're not worrying about a play action or a run or being something to deceive them or a pulling guard that's going to come and blindside them and shit like that. They don't worry about that in practice. It's not like that. It's a lot more one-on-one. It's a lot more of a vanilla type of offense. So the defense just goes at it. They just put their heads down and go. So at that point, they look like fucking like demons. They're fucking out there ravaging shit. And then when all of a sudden you start putting plans for them,
less talent and would manufacture through scheme, manufacture pressure through scheme. That's Wink is but
he's
he
really
was
good at that.
egomaniac.
But let's also not forget Wink doesn't have a job anyway.
maybe he wasn't an egomaniac.
Michigan.
Maybe he knew what the fuck he was talking about and was surrounded by fools.
Yeah, but nobody's
True.
hiring him either though. Like if he was like, let's say he did a Barkley, right? And he went to Philadelphia and he's the fucking Philadelphia defensive coordinator. And now all of a sudden Philly's D is even better than it was in the past. Then I'd be like, all right, yeah, fuck it, we're on to something. But he's fucking playing golf in Palm Beach somewhere. We don't even know where the fuck he is.
Good job with Michigan. He's the Michigan coordinator.
Right.
Yeah.
Michigan, they didn't look so great on
He got
defense.
paid.
Oh yeah, well, there we go.
Yeah. But still it looked like a cover. But I got a question for you guys as far as like speaking to the quarterback, like there was other quarterbacks that didn't look so great. Do you think other teams like Atlanta or Cincinnati are having like heart attacks over their quarterback
No.
over week
Yes.
one? No,
No,
right?
we have a very unique situation here.
Actually,
different, right?
There was no. I heard that in Atlanta they were fucking screaming for panics in like the fourth quarter.
Really?
So other teams do it, bro. Other teams do it. It's just that New York is New York, and it has a bigger stage. There's a huge fan base. There's a lot of active fan base. Fans that do a lot of social media. So
Right.
it just gets magnified a lot more in New
But
York.
Cousins was coming over an injury too, right?
He's coming off of a huge Achilles. I was telling
So-
everybody, I was like, don't expect that Atlanta team to just come out flying out the gate.
I thought they
silly to think
would.
That
I
a
thought they would,
30-something-year-old
Jules.
quarterback is coming back from an Achilles injury that he got mid-season and is going to be 100% himself. Like, that's just ridiculous to think that. You know what I mean?
Difference though. Atlanta's in a much more winnable division.
Okay.
You know what I
There's
mean?
that.
Winnable division. There's a lot more leeway there. They could take some L's in September, and if they make that up and they get to like 9 wins, they could possibly win that division. We don't have that leeway. We got to hit the ground running. You know what I mean? We needed these 2 games, or at least go 1-1, because our stretch from like week 3 to week 8 is atrocious. It's the hardest. I think our schedule lightens up later.
Man, we got to win our division, Ben. That's the problem. We got to win our division. That's hard.
We got 2 teams in that division, and now
That's legit.
they're good. They're good.
They're Super Bowl contenders. Period.
Right, they're legit.
Period. Stop. They're Super Bowl contenders. Like,
No
you just
doubt.
gotta say that.
No doubt about it.
Bro, could you imagine watching Saquon go to the fucking Super Bowl with the Eagles?
I can see it. I can see it. I can honestly see it.
I mean, the only thing is, I just kind of want to go on record though, because I really, really, truly feel after watching that whole weekend of football that the NFL in general has a fucking huge heart on.
Here we go.
To get Kansas City to have a three-peat. Okay, they're fucking hard on it so hard that shit stretches across fucking from New York to California. All right, like they will do anything. There was 5 illegal formations called on the Ravens to start that game, dude. 5. Are you fucking kidding me? And then, like, bro, like, don't even get me started, because that's what you got to contend with. So unless some unbelievable feel-good story comes from the NFC, it's almost guaranteed that Kansas City's going to make the fucking Super Bowl. They'll probably put them against Houston or some bullshit in the AFC Championship game, being like, look, this is the new up-and-coming team, and they're already challenging for it. What a story that makes.
I don't know, man. We got to worry about our own house. Caring about fucking anything else but our house is on fire right now.
It's bad. Kay Adams broke up with Daniel Jones, I heard, which is fucking crazy.
I heard it was a bad breakup too.
Does anybody want to have any parting words? Ben, John, we're gonna do the pick. Me and Jules are gonna do the picks before we set off on this. So you want to stay on? You can stay on.
John really would light his head on fire though, if that's the case.
Yeah, so any parting words, go ahead. I just hope, like, for a preview for the Giants, Redskins, I'm praying for a fucking W. So I'll let you guys go, and then Jules, me and you will stay on for the picks if these guys don't.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna cut out. I'm fucking exhausted. Yeah, man. It just we've been doing this for a few years. I'm generally the most optimistic of fans of the team. I try to put the bluest of glasses on, but there's just a lot like reading the room is it's not great.
So all right. So what? Let me throw out a question that'll kind of pertain to this week's game, right? What do you need to see, whether it's a score, whether it's something out of a particular player that you need to see where you're like, okay, you know what? Week 1 was just a fucking blimp on the radar, and we're past it.
There's nothing that can happen this week that'll make me feel that way.
Nothing will make you feel that way. So the Giants win 42-10. You're gonna just be like, fuck it. It was Washington.
I'm gonna say, okay, so they do have good football players on this team, but I would need an extended period of time of players acting like football players. I want to see like the Michael Strahan, Justin Tuck, Osin Umenyiora, Eli Manning personality in these players. I want to fucking stop hearing about fucking the jersey numbers and slap fucking slap contests with reporters. Like, I want to see professional football players go out, represent the fucking jersey for an extended period of time, and I want to see my coach out-coach teams. I want to see my players outplay the opposing players. I want to see fucking just good Giants football.
That was the same question to you.
To answer your question, Jules, I think they just need to do one thing they can't do the last 10 years: score.
Yeah,
or touchdowns.
Let's just fucking have a little fun with it. Let's just say Daniel Jones throws 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. Are you going to feel more confident?
Yes.
Okay.
Sure. But to what end?
You know why? Jules? Because I'm not ready to tank the year. We just started. I
would never tank ever. I would never. My point is not to tank. My point is not to tank. My point is not that. But I just don't know that if they can go score 4 or 5 touchdowns this week, that it changes anything for the outlook of the team. If they go out, they score, they win Sunday, and then they win against Dallas. Now we can have a conversation.
Should we go? Should we go to Dallas? The game? It's Monday night, right?
They're gonna win Sunday first.
Dedicating my time to this fucking garbage.
They gotta win Sunday first, and
It's hard enough. It's hard enough to be sitting there with my balls out on my fucking lazy boy with two different types of weed and a pipe on my chest, with a goddamn otter.
They
like
play
this for 3 hours than to sit in MetLife's parking lot, fucking wanting to rip the steering wheel off my fucking car because we lost 42-10 and we scored a late touchdown to even make it a 10-point game.
We should all go, man. I want to go with you guys. It'd be fucking fun.
Like I said, Mike, we gotta win. We gotta win Sunday first. We're already going in as underdogs.
Tickets might be cheap.
All right, we're already going in as fucking underdogs. Like
tickets might be cheap though.
No,
right,
we got to
Vinny,
win a meaningful
are you gonna join us for the
game against a division rival. When was the last time that we won a meaningful game against a division rival? 2020. Wow. Right? No. It wasn't 2020.
Well, we beat Washington every year. Isn't that meaningful?
That's not really. No, it's not very meaningful.
Definitely not.
We beat Dallas in that season where all the teams were tied for first place at the end of the season.
Yeah, and Washington won the division with a losing record.
Yes. What season?
That was right before the Eagles got good.
That was Judge, right? Was that Judge's first season? Is that 2018?
I don't know if it was his first or second.
I don't know. It could have been his second because he was.
No, yeah. So right. So it had to be his first year then.
It was his first year.
So it was 2018.
Yeah.
So we haven't won a meaningful playoff game since
2019.
Go win one.
It's a long time.
Fucking
yeah. It's been so long that we can't even fucking think of it.
Right.
Bro,
that's crazy.
6 years ago, dude. That's 1.5 high school, like a quarter of a fucking high school teacher or cop's fucking careers coming on already. In the amount of time that fucking we haven't won a meaningful divisional game.
It definitely was in 2018.
That's my high school fucking years, man. Because I got left back like twice. So, like, man, 6 years of high school. That's crazy.
Come on, dude.
It's a whole lifetime there. It's awful. It's brutal for us, man. I feel bad. It was
2020. It was the 2020 season. It was the 2020 season.
During COVID, when no people were in the stands, of course we win that game. Nobody cares.
Whatever. I'm done.
All right, John. We'll see you next week.
Right. I'm sure we're talking in the group chat.
Hopefully your balls don't swing out too fucking hard on Sunday.
One testy out, bro.
Let's pray, John. Later, bud.
All right, Vin, you staying on for the pickup segment?
Yeah, you guys just make picks.
Based on the spread, but yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. And by the way, did you do the survivor pool?
Yeah, I made it through week one.
I know.
What'd you take?
Like 65 guys got bumped.
I grabbed what did I take? I have 2 picks. I did I can't think of it.
Buffalo?
Pools.
Saints?
No, I did the Saints. I switched. I originally did the Bears and I switched it and I did the Saints last minute. They would have scared me. And I did the Seahawks.
I did something similar, Vin. I had Cincinnati going in. And then when I heard all the bullshit that Chase was gonna have a fucking pitch count, T. Higgins was out. I'm like, yo, these motherfuckers always start off slow. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. And I switched it to the Bills.
Yeah, smart, man. What you told me?
The Bills, and I was shitting my pants in the beginning with the Bills. Like, oh my God.
The Bills play again?
They beat Arizona at home.
Yeah.
He threw 4 touchdowns, Josh Allen.
Well, no, he ran.
He ran. He did the Daniel Jones, yeah. He ran a couple.
I need to know.
Who are you taking this week in Survivor?
This week, I was leaning towards the Chargers.
Ravens and Chargers, right?
Yeah. So I think I might do. So what I think I might do going forward is kind of take, especially in the early weeks, is take a long shot, like not a long shot, but a lesser taken team. You know, like the Saints were last week, and this week it's kind of the Chargers because they have to go all the way out to Carolina, and obviously we're gonna put this in the segment and all that kind of shit. So they are doing that West Coast East Coast trip and fucking all that kind of shit.
That's what I'm taking.
But it does make me a little nervous. But I like them, and I like the Ravens too. But the Ravens got some nice juicy matchups later on in the year too, where it's like, man, I'd like to save.
It's hard, right? Do you want to save them almost? Yeah. But I tell you, in the Survivor pool I'm in, it's 2,000 people in it, so it gets to $200,000, and 634 people out week one, which is just crazy. Yeah, because you never really
It's like
you only,
going to 75%. I mean, 25% rather.
you only see really upsets in the NFL, like week 3, week 4. There's always those big upsets. Week 1, it started already because if you look at Burrow, the Cincinnati game, he was shaking that wrist. If I had known that, like he wasn't like fully healthy with his wrist, then I would have been like, I ain't fucking, I would never take Cincinnati minus 8.5 in our picks, which we end up doing. I would have never taken that. But hey, listen, moving on, man. So we want to start with these picks.
Yeah, we'll go Thursday night. Thursday night is a really good matchup.
Thursday night at Miami with Tyreek Hill and the you know, that asshole. He's minus 1.5 against the Buffalo Bills on the Amazon game on Thursday night.
Vin, what do you think?
Miami wins outright with the points. They win it.
Mike?
I like Buffalo. I got to be honest. I could probably because I don't want to root for Miami. That's my issue is.
I honestly think that if Miami's going to make a statement this year and they're going to actually go to win that AFC East, they have to win Thursday night. It's a much bigger win for Miami than it is for Buffalo. And that's the only reason why I think they have a little bit of an edge. I'm actually Miami this week.
You're actually Miami. Well, listen, okay. Miami it is, but I hope Tyreek gets tased on the field.
I think a lot more continuity. Buffalo's got a lot of young receivers. You just told me Josh Allen ran those touchdowns in. Yeah. So like that.
Well, Kincaid, who was supposed to be their number 1 draft pick, it looked as if when the Bills drafted Kincaid, they were trying to model themselves after Kansas City, and they were trying to find their Kelsey, and they went out and got the best tight end in that draft. And the kid's mad talented. In college, he was a beast. So if they don't start game planning and putting him into that game plan, I don't know what they say. I mean, Keon Coleman looked great. That's also their top 2nd round pick. They're young, like you said, Vin. They're young, and there's going to be some growing pains at certain points in time. I think Thursday they might see some of that.
Buffalo will be hunting in the wild cards because they'll win games.
Yeah, they'll be there at the end of the year. But like right now, week 2 on a short week, having to go down to Miami, it just doesn't fit right for them.
I think it's Miami all the way. And also to your point about tight ends, I think tight ends develop a little bit longer. It's hard. Tight end position is hard in the NFL.
Unless you're Sam Laporta,
but he's legit.
Took him a while.
I actually like the Bills, even though Allen hurt his hands. I don't know, something about that team. I think Allen's going to be the MVP.
Well, you know what it is, McDermott? McDermott's a great coach. He is. He's a really good coach. Like that dude could fail and not make a Super Bowl, any of that bullshit, and he'll get a job somewhere else. Like that guy is fucking solid. And then that's what it is. So like that kind of extends out. And then they have one of the best quarterbacks in the league. So like that point, that's going to keep everyone in the game.
He should be on the hot seat. They fired the offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator. He's next. He's next.
Right.
And he's still not though, man. Like
the writing
about him. You know what I mean?
The writing is on the wall. All right, moving on to like the 1:00 games. This I like. I'll go first with my pick on this one.
God.
Dallas is in Dallas. Dallas is minus 6.5 against the Saints. Listen, guys, the Saints beat up on a really shitty Carolina team. I kind of knew that was going to happen. Saints were at home. This is a different story. Dallas team is legit. We said it in the podcast that it would be Dallas and Philly in this division. I think Dallas rolls on the Saints. So I got to take Dallas.
Man,
I want to take the points for the Saints here and make it closer, but I agree with Trainer. I think Dallas outright,
Yeah, I mean, and it's their home opener. I can't see them not winning by double digits. They might win by 10, but that covers. And that's
Saints defense is not bad, though. It's not a bad defense.
It's not. It's a little old, and we'll see. And they didn't use a lot of their skilled players because they didn't have to. And I don't know, is Kamara really going to all of a sudden be this fucking running threat that he really hasn't been his whole career?
No. Do you trust Derek Carr to just
Dallas' defense is a little bit better than Carolina's. Let's just put that there.
Yeah. You think Derek Carr lights it up against that defense? Yeah, I don't think so.
Doubt it.
All right, that might
have 3 sacks.
That might be the key bet. All right, next game. Ravens in Baltimore. Ravens opened up 9.5 against Vegas. Vegas, that magic ran out with Antonio Pierce. They have no quarterback. They don't look great. I like the Ravens all day to like whoop them at home.
Not only that, Mike, everybody wants to say it was Devonta Adams because he wants out. He wants to be traded. Jacoby Myers was giving cold shoulders in that game, dude. Jacoby fucking Myers. Until Antonio Pierce turns that team around, bro. And the Ravens are coming off of a loss, which was kind of a bullshit one. Bro, they should destroy.
They look good. Ravens look good.
I'm gonna say the Ravens win, but Raiders with the points.
Oh,
I think
all right.
The points.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. Moving on. In Washington, Giants are getting 2.5. We got to take the Giants, right? This is it. If they don't win this week, that's it, right? So we got to take them.
Yep.
Yeah,
And then
that
let me
pretty
tell you
much
this.
sums up the week.
And then I'll tell you this. And then you know what you do with one of your survivor picks? You pick against the Giants the rest of the year.
could be a tie between the
There you
Giants.
go.
Yeah, right. Or until we get to Carolina, because that might be the only game we win.
Yeah, I'm
Jules,
gonna say the Giants. I have to.
Jules, that's probably the most honest thing I've ever heard from you. Besides, like I heard from an Instagram guy, like he said something about this woman that looked, that was like actual man. He was like, if there's an apple, there's always a banana. So you know what I'm saying? That's the truest statement I ever heard from you. All right.
Awesome.
Next game, the Chargers. They're in Carolina. Chargers are -6.5 against Carolina.
Why don't you start?
It's a touchdown
Where are they?
in Carolina.
In Carolina.
Their home opener.
Yeah, I'll take the Chargers all the way.
I mean, I already said I was picking them for the survivor, so I'm not changing it.
I think that's a key bet. I think Carolina's the worst team in the NFL this year.
Well, we'll see.
I think they are. They're pretty tough. Yeah, watch it. Oh, Carolina with the huge upset.
No, not even that. I don't know. We got to play them in London, in fucking Germany this year. So
Oh
we're
my
have
God.
to wait till then.
I forgot about that. That should be fun.
Oh,
All right,
yeah.
next game. Indy. They're -3.5 going into Green Bay. Green Bay, no Jordan Love. He had that injury. So Malik Willis gets the start.
Yeah, I'll go first. Honestly, it's the quarterback situation that I can't fucking buy into. How they have fucking Malik Willis backing up fucking Jordan Love. I just think Green Bay ran into some unfortunate bullshit. At home, yeah, I get it, but you know what? I gotta go Colts here.
Me too. Ben?
I'm gonna go Green Bay,
Ooh.
and I think Malik Willis will struggle. They'll win in spite of him, and they will get Ryan Tannehill in there. Maybe next week. By week 3, they'll get Tannehill in there.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah,
if the Giants don't first, right?
I would love out there.
Man, you're gonna just keep coming.
Oh my God. I want to turn this podcast off right now. Go watch Beetlejuice again. All right, next game. Oh, I love this game. San Fran is -5.5 in Minnesota. I love the Niners. Niners are legit. They're not. Jules, this is one of the teams, Ben too. This is one of the teams I think goes like 10-0 to start the year off. What do you think?
I agree. San Fran all the way. I think they wash them easy.
Yeah, I mean that kid makes it so that running game doesn't miss a step, and if he has to be the starter, which I'm keeping my fingers crossed he is because I need him in fantasy. 100%, they should fucking roll Minnesota. Just like I thought the Giants were going to beat them, but they're a way better team.
I think this is the game Jules, like we bet hard on this. Like we throw all our money just on one game this week. This is the game. They're only
not even Chargers, 49ers.
Yeah, because they're -5.5, and that's probably the lowest spread we're gonna get for the next like 9 weeks. I'm telling you, it's one of those. It's one of those teams. I think they're gonna win the Super Bowl this year.
I agree.
They're nasty.
We'll get to a team that's kind of still my favorite, but all right, we'll get there.
All right, we'll get there. All right, next game in Jacksonville. Weird spread, man. Jacksonville's -3.5 against Cleveland, against the massage enthusiast, I'll call him. He's got another assault charge pending against him. It's not going to keep Deshaun Watson out. It's weird. The Cleveland team is weird because they got such a great defense. They got a good running game. And Jacksonville, I don't know, man. I want to bet them. I want to see them have success, but I just don't see it with them. 3.5 spread.
So just real quick, I got distracted. Jazz Chisholm walked the Yankees off in the 11th. They won 4-3 against the Royals. So it's some good positive news.
There we go.
Okay, Jazz. So
Jacksonville, I like Jacksonville this week. I do. I think I don't know what's going on with the Browns just yet. Jacksonville looked good. Then they fell apart. It was a weird game. I don't know what happened in Miami. I like Jacksonville to win their home opener on the road. With Cleveland coming in.
Ben,
what's the points on this?
3.5. Jacksonville's favored.
I think it'll be really close. I think both teams are physical. Both teams have really good coaches.
True.
I think I'm gonna say Cleveland just because it's gonna be close.
Me too.
Yeah,
I think that's
go
a
Cleveland.
down to the wire game. Yeah, me too.
I'm still too much a Trevor Lawrence fan, I think.
I love Trevor.
Yeah, it was funny. They had a meme with Trevor Lawrence in a cop uniform
No.
last week saying he was the guy responsible for pulling over Tyreek Hill before the game, which was pretty funny. All right, so moving on. Next game, Seattle. Seattle's minus 3.5 up in New England. Um, man, Seattle pushed last week. New England, I know they beat Burrow in Cincinnati, but they didn't look that great either. Let's be honest. Cincinnati just looked so horrible. But I think Seattle goes up to New England because I still think New England's one of the worst teams in the NFL, and they beat them handily. I got to say,
I'm sorry. Well, it's 3 or 3.5. What's the spread?
3.5 is Seattle's favored on the road, which is I know the road, the home team, you got to give them the points, but this is one of the teams where I think Seattle has too big of an offense to, you know what I mean? I got to go with Seattle.
I think Seattle wins by a field goal. And I know it's right there, so it's like, did I really play the half or not? I just kind of got a weird feeling because don't forget, Seattle is under a new head coach, and they got new stuff going on there. And they didn't look that. They look good. They looked good. Their defense is solid. But it was the Broncos, and they only won 26-20.
Yeah, but the Broncos had that late score bullshit touchdown when the game was out of hand. So it's like they should have covered officially, but you know how that goes.
Got backdoored. All right. I could go with Seattle this week. You kind of convinced me. I've been swaying on that one anyway. But then we are literally saying that 2 West Coast teams come over to the East Coast and both of them win at 1 o'clock. Right. I don't know what the statistics are on that.
That's a good point. But these are 2 good West Coast teams coming over. So
all right.
I'll take the bet. Ben, you like Seattle?
I like you made a great case that I think the Patriots is just you want to talk about the worst teams, throw the Patriots in there. Giants, Carolina, Patriots, and I might throw the Titans in there by the end of the season too.
Oh, okay. Speaking of the Titans,
I was just getting ready to say good foreshadow.
Right. Speaking of the Titans in Tennessee, the Jets are favored by 4.5 in Tennessee. I like the Jets. I think they kick the shit out of them.
Jets will kill them.
I mean,
I think so.
The Titans lost to fucking Chicago without a 100-yard rusher and fucking Caleb Williams only throwing for 90 yards. Yeah, if Aaron Rodgers doesn't get right and go down there and fucking whoop their ass, the Jets are in trouble.
All right, dude, I agree, man. No doubt about it. All right, moving on. In Detroit, they're minus 6.5 against the hot Tampa Bay Bucks team.
Rematch of what was it? The divisional round, right?
Right.
Oh, listen, the Lions are my pick for the Super Bowl still. I think that their coach is great, obviously, but he can get a little over himself and he can get a little too overconfident. He made
he's a gambler.
Just rookie kind of mistakes as a head coach, where he's got the balls. He's always going to go for it. He's that kind of coach. And that's fucking pretty dope. Like, I don't know, man. To me, the Lions are one of the teams to beat by fucking far. And this is a at home game. Bucks are good, but don't forget the Bucks beat up on a fucking Washington team that we're fucking putting the Giants, right, who we said, and most people are saying are one of the worst teams in the NFL, that we're going to win against them. So, you know what I mean? Yeah. So, look, do I think the Bucks are going to put up points? So I think they can keep it close for a bit? Yes. But in the end, I think the Lions win.
Like Dan Campbell, like we all love him. He's the gambler. He'd be a lot of fun to hang out with at the casino.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Imagine going to the casino and playing blackjack with that motherfucker. Be a great time.
Fuck yeah.
He loves to go for everything. He goes for everything.
That is definitely one coach I would love to just fucking have a beer with.
Yeah, dude. I gotta that just all for that. I gotta fucking go with the Lions, whatever it is.
What do you think?
I'm gonna be contrarian here. I take Tampa with the points. I think it'll be close. Lions will win. And I have to also disagree. I think Dan Campbell's a horrific coach. He's gonna hold them back. I think the one that they lost to San Francisco, they had that game locked up, and
they did.
They did. That was fucking crazy.
Eventually, they're gonna get they might get Belichick in there or something, because I just think the Lions, they finally got a winner. They put a good product. It's not because of him. It's because of what their GM has done. They fixed their line.
That's a great point.
They fixed
Yeah,
their
but you know what? Like it was kind of goes back to what we were
Belichick,
saying.
Detroit.
It kind of goes back to what we were saying, where he's got these guys buying in. You see the energy. Look at David Montgomery in that overtime run. That motherfucker ran through like 12 guys, like it felt like, he was like a fucking bowling ball.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You think fucking Saquon would have done that in an overtime game for Dable? Hell no. You know what I'm trying to say? Like these dudes play for him. They love that kind of style. He's got a team that's locked in following this head coach. And like I said, the guy gambles. So he's going to miss a few games. But you know what happens is when you start getting a little more seasoned as a coach, you start realizing that, okay, you know what? Yeah, I usually go for this. I'm a ballsy guy. And you start to realize where it's like, okay, wait a minute. Is this just being really fucking just boisterous? Or am I actually being just kind of like, all right, you know what? This is like maybe succeeds 40% of the time versus like 20. You know what I'm trying to say? You start leaning towards the 40 at more times. And I think he's going to mature as a coach because he has. You could see his career kind of going on that angle. There's nothing really stopping this team except for themselves or injuries.
It's a good point, too. But goddamn, thinking about Belichick with a decent offensive coordinator in Detroit, man, that's something, man. I never would have crossed my mind, Ben. Thanks for coming on the podcast. Now you can go. All right. So all right. So we're riding with Detroit. I mean, I can't go against you, Jules. I gotta go with the Lions.
Motor City, baby.
So next game in Arizona. Arizona's -1.5 against the Rams, which I don't know, I think they lost half their team on Sunday night against the Lions. Who do you guys like? I don't know with this game. I really don't. I'd stay away from it.
Yeah, oh yeah. Personally, I'm not betting it. But you're right. I mean, like, here's the thing, right? Like, so is Cooper Kupp really gonna get like 50 targets a game moving forward? Because I mean, that's what it felt like once Puka went down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then all the hype about Blake Corum coming in and that he was gonna split that backfield with fucking Carry-On, and
Not
that
one.
shit never happened. So I mean, like, I like McVay. I think he's a good coach, but like, really, we're gonna sit there and say that little midget Murray can't find Harrison? Because we all know that Arizona could have won that game, and I would have got knocked out of my survivor pool if he would have just looked up to the right and saw that Harrison was streaking down the sideline wide the fuck open.
72 yards, wide open. Yeah, like
I'm gonna go with the home team. That's just what I'll do in a shitty game like that.
Ben?
I'll go Rams. I just think they have
Rams.
Yeah, I think McVay knows how to game plan. You want to talk about adjustments and what he knows. Kyron is a beast. Kupp can handle all those targets. Hopefully
after a while, if I'm a defense coordinator, I'm doing everything I can to stop him.
He does get open though.
Stop the run and double team Kupp, and that's it.
Great route runner. What a great route runner.
Nah, he's fantastic.
And Matthew Stafford. Let's not forget, Matthew Stafford is a damn good quarterback in this league over 15 years. He's good.
Yeah.
And that's a guy that came out of college and delivered, basically.
I'm riding with the Rams. I kind of like, I kind of like that.
Rams is all right. Listen, again, like I said, I'm a coin flip on that one.
Yeah,
I won't bet it in real life. That's the real one.
Got to go with them, though. All right. In Denver, Pittsburgh is favored by 2.5 in Denver. I love Denver. Like, I don't trust Fields. I don't trust Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh didn't look great against Atlanta.
We trust Bo Nix, right?
I mean, I'd rather trust him because he really didn't turn the ball over. You know what I mean? So, like, I'll trust him with the coaching instead of Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh on the road, I don't know, man. They got lucky in Atlanta.
Did Pittsburgh like really fuck you last year or something, like gambling wise?
I hate them, dude. I hate them.
Because like you're like, Atlanta's a lock. Atlanta doesn't win. Now we're going to Denver. Fucking Denver's a lock. Fuck Pittsburgh.
And it's weird. I love Omar Epps and I love him coaching the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I don't understand. Like, why does this team screw me? But
you know what?
Go with Denver
here. Like you're right. They really didn't have much of an identity. Like, Pickens got his, but that's because they threw like 20 fucking times at him. Firemouth did his thing. Harris didn't look great. Warren's still banged up. I mean, that defense is solid. They do bring a really good D. If there's one thing I would bet in this game, it's probably the under, right? Just from a real betting perspective, I can see this being like an ugly, like 13-10 type fucking game. So you know what? I'll stick with that, and I'll go home team here, I guess. I'm not gonna really jump on Pittsburgh, but if Pittsburgh wins this game, Mike, I'm not picking against them unless it's a fucking real mismatch.
Yeah, yeah. I know, I get it. Ben?
I'm going 120% Pittsburgh. I think
Wow.
I think Mike Tomlin, you were saying it before. I think I would hope the Giants with the team the way it's constructed, we would stable coaches like Tomlin. Yo, they don't blow anybody out. They don't ever get blown out. They play for the fourth quarter.
Hard, man. They play hard.
Nah, he's a good coach, man. He's solid.
12 game, you stay within one score, and in the fourth quarter, sometimes you finish the game and you win, sometimes you lose. And that's how this guy's 8-8 every goddamn year. So I think Mike Tomlin is a genius. He's the new what was his name? Jeff Fisher, who was always 500. He's like the version of him because he doesn't have a quarterback. No more Roethlisberger. So I think Pittsburgh in a game like this where they're better than Denver, even though they're on the road, I think they win. It'll be a close game. It'll be physical, and somehow TJ Watt will have a walk-off sack. Win the game.
All right. Fun fact, Vin. Instead of us drafting TJ Watt, who I wanted personally, we drafted Evan Ingram. All right. So moving on. In Kansas City, Kansas City Chiefs with Taylor Swift is -5.5 against the Bengals. What do you guys think of this game? I don't know what to think.
Vin, why don't you start this one? You look like you're ready to go because I'm like,
this one's a tough one because you want the Bengals to get back, but I think we're in for a very disappointing Bengal season just because of like a lot of stuff is going on there. You guys are probably going to kill me for this. I think Burrow might be a little overrated. He's clutch. He had a great run and he can win big games, but what has he done in a while? You know what I mean? It's been a while. I think Kansas City, they win with the points. I think Kansas City is flying right now. The offense there's weapons there. The Worthy kid, the Rashid Rice kid. I think they're cooking and they got everything going right now. I don't think they're winning the AFC though, Jules. I don't. But I think right now, early in the season, they're gonna start pretty hot.
I agree with you, Ben. I agree.
Is T. Higgins even playing? I don't know.
Does it matter?
Right? No Higgins. And look, you know what? A guy that gets fucking no love is a guy that fucking went off in our next game we're gonna fucking pick. But he was a good running back there, Joe Mixon. I never got any fucking credit in Cincinnati. Zero. And now you bring in fucking the guys you got there, and everybody fucking Brown this, and Moss fucking outruns them. And dude, you know what? Cincinnati, something's not right in Cincinnati just yet. And they always take a couple of games. They always start off slow. And you can't do that against the two-time defending Super Bowl champs on their turf.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, bro.
Mixon was glue.
I got a weird feeling that for some reason Kansas City might start off slow, and it might be close enough to at halftime, and then all of a sudden they open up in the second half. I don't know why, but I just got that kind of feeling where it's like, holy shit, they're not going to do it, and then it's like a late touchdown to like Kelsey or some shit, and they go up 10, and then a turnover, and they kick another field goal, and I'm winning by like 13 or 14.
That's a wrap. All right. Well, speaking of Joe Mixon, in Houston, they're open up -6.5 against the Bears with Caleb Williams that only throws about 93 yards a game. Who do you guys like in this game?
Fucking Houston.
Right?
Houston's going to the AFC Championship game. Like, fuck that. They look right. Okay. Yeah. And listen, Anthony Richardson, Colts, they that's just a weird rivalry where they just go at it. So that game was a little closer than I expected it to be. Also,
but they were in Indy.
They were in it. That Pierce touchdown, you take that away with 75-yard bomb. You might, that doesn't happen all the time. So they did hit a big play to kind of keep that game tight all throughout. But I like Houston, man. There is no, like, you want to talk about a coach? That's a good young head coach that's fucking up and coming. He's got these guys playing. They had the offensive and defensive rookies of the year last year. CJ Stroud is the real fucking deal. There's no question. You're brought in Stephon Diggs. Tank Dell is healthy. Yo, fuck these Bears, all right? Like, I know people think that this is going to be a good game with them, and maybe their defense is better than we think, but, like, the fact of the matter is, Williams ain't ready, bro. He ain't ready, and I think it's going to show. I could see Houston winning by at least 10.
Ben? I think the Bears are probably your most difficult team to figure out just because so many new faces, from their wide receiver room to Caleb developing. I just think there's a lot. Montez Sweat came like middle of the year last year. There's a lot of change that happened with the Bears. Who's the Bears coach? Who's their coach?
That's a great question. I want to Google it right now, but I don't want to.
Do we know? I'm sorry I put you guys on the spot. I just don't know.
Does anybody know who the Bears coach is?
Matt Eberfluss.
Oh, I know that guy.
Yeah, Matt Eberfluss. Yeah.
Wow, they didn't fire him? I thought they would have fired him.
I don't know. That guy survived somehow, I guess.
What's the point again, trainer?
It's 6.5.
Yeah, they're gonna. The Bears are gonna win games and win bets. Take them on point. Games that you don't think they're supposed to win. But I think I'm gonna agree with Jules. I think Houston just wins outright. I think Stephon Diggs long term though is gonna be a cancer. Little by little,
maybe
he's gonna be a
couple years. Yeah,
especially when Nico starts going off and Tank starts going off and he's not getting the ball. Joe Mixon has another game like he did. All of a sudden, he has back-to-back 3 for 30 games. You know what I mean?
The issue with Houston I see is Stephon Diggs is being a jerk.
Definitely.
I got you there, but I don't see him week 2 at home. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. I'm thinking
that's their home opener. Yeah, and listen, I know the NFL's glomming for it because they're bringing in like 2 fucking young quarterbacks going head to head. And like I said, it'll be close for a bit, but I think Texas pulls it.
They win. They win more than a touchdown. They win.
I think now this next spread is the one that's really got me kind of like, what?
I think Stephon Diggs just wears out his welcome like every couple of years, like my ex-girlfriends do. So final game in Philly, that dump. They are -6.5 against hot Atlanta.
Yeah.
I'm going with Atlanta. I gotta ride with Atlanta.
Like
it's crazy.
What?
I'm riding with Atlanta.
The Falcons? Why?
Yeah, I'm riding because it's Monday night.
Play?
Yeah, it's Monday night, and
is it going to get better all of a sudden in 1 week in Philadelphia?
Something's about that. It's a Monday night game. I don't know. I don't know, Jules. I don't know. I'm taking Atlanta. Yeah, I'm probably wrong.
The way I'm looking at this is I think Jalen Hurts might throw 5 touchdowns or have 5 total touchdowns. Okay.
Atlanta's team is
Barkley again. Barkley got his. If Barkley could eat week 1 on an absolute terrible field and get 3 touchdowns, all right, Jalen Hurts is due. All right. All right. Like there's no, like, I'm not even like worried about it. Like, I think I get it that the Steelers didn't score a touchdown. So like, oh, maybe Atlanta has something there. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I just think that's like a fucking game where they're just gonna fucking roll them. Like it's just gonna be one of those games where like, oh fuck, here we go again with the Eagles. You know how they always start off fucking crazy in the beginning. I think they win that game like 35-20 or some shit.
Ben?
I agree. I think Philly wins comfortably. I think they win at least 10. I think they they know what they're doing. Philly's a well-oiled machine. It's gonna be tough to beat them.
Yeah. Atlanta coming in off of a loss at home to Pittsburgh.
All right.
On Monday night under the lights. I think it's another primetime game.
Listen, I just
home opener. Look, they don't win. They don't cover this spread. Fucking, they suck. Then
I just don't have it in me to bet Philly. I feel sick to my stomach.
Mike, so you done what I did. I told you right now, Vin. I don't know if I told you, but I took Jalen Hurts in almost every fucking fantasy draft this year. Because I'm like, if they're going to go off, I'm going to go off too. And if they suck and he fucks up, well, fuck it.
Like,
win-win for me.
Traitor. All right, let's hit
it. Any final thoughts? Just in general.
A lot of things. But me and my brother are going to Cleveland. We're going to be there for week 3. We're gonna do watching it week 1, watching the Minnesota game. I was like, damn, what the hell did we just pay for? What do we?
Can we get a refund?
But no. But at this point, I'm excited to go. I just
gotta get a dog mask.
Yeah. We're gonna give it to the dog pound though. We're gonna give it to them. We bleed blue through and through. So I'm just hoping we get that win against Washington somehow. Because I don't think it'll be that easy, Jules. I think Washington is going to give us a.
I believe me, I don't.
Yeah, I think they're going to give us some trouble, And then, but I hope we get through it. I really think Thibodeau and Burns are going to get theirs. I think they're going to eat. I think they've heard it. They're going to get to Jaden, and then Cleveland. That defense is going to be real tough. I hope Daniel Jones just stops running. Stop running. Just throw the ball. throw the ball. It's a lot faster and safer for you. Stop being so scared to throw the interception that you're gonna throw. Like, I don't want to go too much on a rant because I know you guys want to go, but Mahomes, Josh Allen, they lead the league in interceptions every year, but nobody talks about it because they win games and they score points. Like, that's what I want.
They throw touchdowns.
Yeah, like throw touchdowns, Joe. Do it. You got neighbors. What? And we didn't even touch upon it.
Yeah.
Where the heck was Jalen Hyatt? Is this guy looking like a bust or what?
15 like 5 snaps.
I mean, listen, not to defend him, but he was a third-round pick. You know what I mean? I know we traded up for him, but we traded small shit for him. Like,
Slayton.
You know what? Everybody said he was what he was. Look, if the offense was rolling the way it's supposed to, and you had Malik set up and be that true number one receiver, which he will develop to be, and you had Wendell running all over the middle and being that slot receiver, and Hyatt's just that kind of guy that goes down the field every once in a while, he's going to have those games like in Alec Pierce. I guarantee you, Alec Pierce has nothing this fucking week. Maybe 2 catches for 20 yards. You know what I mean? That's what Hyatt should be. We'll see. It's only been 1 week. We didn't throw any passes deep. So we'll see if that's what it is.
It was the snap count that was worrisome. I know Slayton has the chemistry,
True.
but the snap count is awful.
Yeah, and that's the other thing, too. Slayton's still kind of eating into him. He hasn't beaten out Slayton. I don't know if I should be worried about that or if it's just we need to keep like at least one veteran receiver on that field. I mean, let's face it, Robinson has been in the league a couple of seasons, but he hasn't played much. He played a little bit more last year, but that was kind of his first kind of real full season. And he even missed a couple of games. So you really want to throw 3 unexperienced guys plus a tight end and then have a new running back. It's asking a lot. So that's why I think maybe that's part of it.
Dimes definitely likes Bellinger too. He's more comfortable with Bellinger. And I think Bellinger's pretty good. I'm a Bellinger fan,
When did we face Cleveland?
Week 3. September 21st, I think, something like that. 22nd.
You know what I would do if I was going to go to Cleveland? I would hire an actress, a female actress, and we would go to the game together. And right in front of the dog pound, she would pull out a massage table, and she would pretend like she'd give me a HJ. For anybody that does not know what an HJ is, go look it up on what it was that website.
Listen, someone kind of beat you to it.
Urban Dictionary.
I think it was last season. It might be this season. I don't even know. But apparently, someone bought like a doll and covered it up like on a gurney with like a huge, look like a boner or whatever. And they were just like, it was something along the lines of like happy endings aren't illegal.
Oh no,
they already kind of beat you there. It's on the internet. You can probably
find
it. Who's the backup? If somehow they bench Deshaun or he gets in trouble and they really do something to him by week 3, who are we facing? Who are the Giants facing?
Hopefully somebody that's not a creep.
I would actually have to look that up. Hold on a second. Let me see something.
Watch it be somebody that's going to smoke us. I'd rather Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, he's terrible. I don't know.
Hey, they're going to call Joe Flacco off the fucking bench, off the couch again.
We're going to get killed then, for real.
Yeah, if Joe Flacco comes in, forget about it. It's lights out.
I mean, but real quick with that, just kind of put this in perspective. We'll see how good this Browns team truly is because they got a little bit of a test this weekend. But if the Giants were to drop this game and the Browns look somewhat decent this week, we have to play them in week 3. Then we play the Cowboys. Then we play the Seahawks. Then we play the Bengals, which by then they'll probably be right, or that'll be their get-right game. Then we play the Eagles. Then we play the Steelers. And then it's back to the Commanders and the Panthers.
That's rough.
Yeah.
That's rough.
Yeah. All right, this could be a long season.
Yeah, I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
That's why I am not buying the hype. Listen, unless the Giants win 42-3 this Sunday in Washington, and Daniel Jones accounts for 4 touchdowns. The defense scores a touchdown. Burns has 3 sacks. Tibbs has 2 sacks.
I want to see
something just ridiculous. Because if it's a fucking 20-17 win, and we scored like a rushing touchdown and like maybe a defensive score. Of course it's gonna be. Of course it's gonna be 2017. Fucking game on the line to the 4th quarter. We're biting our nails like we really give a fuck. Oh my god, we're gonna go to 1-1.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but I'm sorry. I tried to stay as positive as possible in tonight's podcast, but reality is reality. I said I tried.
He didn't try.
Clearly, I failed. Well, listen, let's wrap that up, Vin. Thank you for coming on, Vin. I do want to hold you to one thing though. Either if the Giants lose to Washington, or after you come back from Cleveland, you got to come on at least one during one of those 2 times. All right, and then we'll see how the rest of the season plays out, because I don't even know if we're going to be doing this if this season.
Real quick, can I give my Super Bowl pick? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I think you're gonna kill me. You're gonna kill me for this.
Eagles.
NFC San Fran. I think they finally make that jump. And AFC
Jets.
The Jets.
Oh.
And then win. I think the Jets win AFC. I think the Jets have a roster they have depth. They're stacked everywhere. There's talent. Once they get Rodgers looked good the other day. I know he didn't finish the game, and San Fran's fucking good. That's a tough spot to go to San Fran week 1. Like they re-signed all their guys. Everybody's happy. Like that's a tough ask.
They got a get right game with Tennessee.
Dude, they play nobody the next 15 games. They play
right. I mean, but until they get to their division, then we'll see what's what.
I think everybody takes a step back. I agree. Miami they're flashy, but Miami doesn't win a championship. I told my friend who's a Dolphins fan, talking shit last year, Miami will never win a Super Bowl. It'll never happen.
Is that Mikey that you're talking shit to?
No. I work with. I really think warm weather teams, like indoor teams like Atlanta, Miami, they have to be the number 1 seed. Everything's got to go through them, and then they got to win the Super Bowl in a neutral site. I think it's so hard. I'm so glad that I picked the Giants, a cold weather team that plays outdoors. I don't want a dome. I don't want a retractable roof. I want to play. I think Minnesota screwed up. When they rebuilt the dome, they should have just made it an outdoor stadium. It would have made them gritty. It would have given them an advantage. I don't think a team like Miami, they'll be flashy. They'll win a lot of games. But as soon as they go to Kansas City and it's freezing, that Saturday night game.
Or what about when they got to go to Buffalo in November?
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, they might have fucking 30 inches of snow by then.
Dude, what is Miami built on? They're built on speed. From their running backs, Shane to Tyreek, they're cheetahs. They're fucking fast. They can't do that shit when it's snowing. They can't. They're not built for it. They're not men. Buffalo, men.
And Tua can't play in the cold either.
No.
You see him in the cold, he's like, eh.
So I think the Jets win the division outright because it's an easy schedule. They're going to rattle off wins easy. They're going to get to the Chiefs in that championship game, and they're going to beat the Chiefs. They're going to beat them. They're going to.
Yes. And who's San Fran beating in the NFC Championship?
Probably, I would probably say Detroit or Philly. You know me, I hate giving it up to Philly. Philly's always good. My problem with Philly, though, I told you my problem with Detroit is the coach. My problem with Philly is the relationship between Sirianni and Jalen Hurts. I think they're, I don't think they're on the best of terms. I also think we have a diva in AJ Brown. If AJ Brown's not getting the ball because Saquon's there now, everybody's going to be demanding this ball, AJ Brown's going to start chirping. He could become a cancer himself.
Well, it's funny you say that because they were on the post-game interview on Thursday night or Friday night, whatever it was. And it was literally Saquon and AJ Brown. He's all like,
yeah.
Man, yeah.
Go
see what happens when your fucking stats start getting padded because Devonta Smith is going to get his too. You know what I mean?
So real quick, what do you guys think happened to Philly last year? Like, what happened to Philly last year? Like, they were so good. I'm like, kind of
AJ Brown.
Right?
Yeah, he went. I forgot what game it was. It was like a Thursday night game or one of the night games where he went fucking ballistic on the sideline where Jalen Hurts was laughing almost.
Yeah.
And then he force fed him a touchdown. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, there's no doubt.
Defense went bad. Like, they started losing games left and right. Sirianni was crying. He didn't know what he was doing. It was a mess. I was like, I couldn't believe Philly. Like, they have a lot of talent. I couldn't believe how they just fell flat. I don't think Dallas has a prayer. I think Dallas is a pipe dream. Yeah,
they never do.
What it is with Dallas, real quick. Dallas, I don't respect their run game this year. You know what? Zeke is older. He looked okay week 1. He did. You got Rico Dowell. They brought in fucking what's his name from that was bounced around a bunch. Moss. You know what I mean? To be their other running back, dude.
The old guy from Minnesota.
Yeah. Cook. Sorry,
yeah,
Cook. I said Moss and then Cook.
Fuck Dallas.
Yeah, I mean, but fuck Dallas, fuck the Eagles, and fuck the Giants.
We
All right?
can't-
No, you know why? Fuck them. They deserve a fuck you. All right. Look, I'm not saying that you know what, you might tell your brother, your sister, somebody fuck you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's the fuck you I'm giving
I
to the Giants
understand.
right now, right?
I get it.
Like, let's be fair. But Vin, thank you for coming on. Listen, I don't know what to say. It's week one. Maybe we're overreacting, and I hate the fact that we have to play Washington, which could be a get right game. And then I promise, unless we win 42-10, I am not going ballistic week two. I'm going to come in, even with a W, I'm going to still treat it like a loss. I'm going to be so fucking hard on this team for the next
Even
couple
keel.
weeks.
Even keel.
And that's it. So I don't know what else to say. Hopefully, fucking this season changes. It's early. It's only September. We got a long season ahead. Hope for the best. We'll see you guys. Peace.
Go
Peace.
Giants.